Yeah.
Machine gun Rusty.
OC. OC.
man.
I don't want to do this again.
Oh.
Hello and welcome to the OC Men. This is the 6th episode of the podcast where every week my two friends and I watch an episode of the mid-2000s primetime teen dramedy The OC and discuss what we just watched. I'm JT.
I'm Russell.
And I'm Jamie.
And we are
The OC Man.
It's not goofy. Our goal for this podcast is to figure out just why I love this show so much and to see how two guys completely new to the series react to each episode in depth. Today's episode was the girlfriend from season 1, the Fast Times at Ridgemont High episode. Before we jump into it, I just wanted to recap the story of the OC up to this point. Wrong Side of the Tracks Ryan has been adopted by the affluent Cohen family. It hasn't changed. It's going to be the same Wrong Side of the Tracks guy. The girl next door, Marissa.
When will he become on the right side?
He's never going to be on the right side. He's Ryan. He's an Atwood. They live on the outside.
Ooh. That's going to be my goal this episode, just to do that noise.
It's the Atwood's Handmaiden's Tale. Girl next door, Marissa, is torn between new guy Ryan and lovable douchebag Luke. Why am I dropping all my articles? Okay. Who has just pulled ahead in the dating race due to being shot in the arm recently when Ryan tackles Donnie, played by Paul Wesley, the main character of Vampire Diaries. Seth is still stalking Summer for God knows what reason. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
All right. So episode 4, the girlfriend.
Oh.
Nope. Episode 6.
6.
I didn't change that either. Sometimes I rush these. Episode 6, the girlfriend. It opens with the Cohen family apprehensive about Caleb, the granddad, coming to visit.
So they're buying snacks, right? It opens with them being like, "Oh, these are all snacks for Grandpa," as if like
Where were they buying snacks? Oh, they're in the house.
they were getting out of the car and unloading the.
Oh, they're unloading
the
groceries. That's right.
They
But
got
like-
tons of tiny chip bags.
Yes, as if like he's a velociraptor or something that they're just like, we need to give him nonstop bags of Lay's potato chips. I think
they're showing that he has very specific tastes in things, and showed how much Kirsten was very catering very much to his taste. Like he has to have this type of grappa wine, I think it was. And he has to have this type of chips. He doesn't like cilantro. He has the very specific things that he wants, and it's very hard to give him exactly what he wants without messing up.
But after watching the episode, it felt like that back seat should have just been filled with bottles and bottles of alcohol. And that's the whole. I did not see him eat one thing.
I would feel like that would have been a good callback to just be like, you brought my chips, delicious. Like him just walking around always eating bags of Lay's or whatever it was.
Wiping his fingers on their curtains.
Or was that for the granddad specifically or the party? The birthday party? Just have
Granddad specifically.
It makes more sense now that you say it that it should have been for the part. Well, though, who serves Lay's potato chips at like a fancy
I'm sure they
party?
had it catered or whatever. Yeah.
We brought our own chips. Thank you very much, caterer. Quit trying to overcharge us.
So I guess they're getting back from getting snacks. I forgot that's how it opened. I thought it opened with them in the house, apprehensive about the granddad, saying like, Kirsten seemed to be kind of anxious about him getting there. Sandy, kind of passively aggressive.
There was nothing passive about Sandy at all.
That's true. Just
Sandy
straight up
was
aggressive.
and totally against Caleb from the start and looking to get against him in any way.
We find out that from Sandy that he is still Jewish.
Which we were worried about. Sandy's still Jewish, not Caleb.
Correct.
Which we've been wondering. We've been having the countdown to when Sandy's no longer Jewish on this podcast.
Yes.
So far, he still is Jewish.
Hoping and praying.
So why is he not like Caleb? Do we know? Hoping and praying? Let me just go on that one. Should I go past that?
I was like, that was a little more than I needed to go.
Okay, so do we know at the outset why Sandy and Caleb don't get along? I know we kind of have it out later, and we see why Caleb has a problem with Sandy, doesn't think he's good enough for his daughter and all that. But do we know at the beginning, or is Sandy just seeming like a dick if you don't know?
He's just seeming like a dick.
Yeah.
I mean, I inherently trust everything that Sandy says, so I feel like if he hates someone, I'm like, well, it's probably something that guy did. But they don't give any reason. I mean, he says it's because he's still Jewish, and
I'm sorry, Jamie.
Yeah. But we can assume it has something to do with the whole son-in-law type of thing.
Oh, that's a good movie. Did you guys ever see that movie, Son-in-Law?
It's my favorite Pauly Shore
The
vehicle.
only Pauly Shore movie I have ever seen is a Goofy movie. I have not seen any of the other ones. I haven't seen
Encino Man.
Encino Man, the one that's the one where the caveman wakes up or something.
Yes.
Yeah. That's when Brendan Fraser's the caveman. No, I haven't seen that.
In the Army Now?
Oh yeah.
I have not seen In the Army Now.
Biodome.
I've seen clips from Biodome, but never the whole thing.
Jury Duty. Never seen Jury Duty.
No, is that spelled D? Is it spelled like poop? Because in my head, it's spelled like poop.
Have you seen Son-in-Law?
Nope. What is the storyline behind Son-in-Law?
Yeah, it's his. It's your.
Have
typical,
you ever seen Son-in-Law?
Yeah, it's your typical. Don't fucking. It's your typical.
There's a son, and
No. The small town family, conservative family. The daughter is away at college, and she makes friends with a guy named Bones or Weasel or something like that, which is Pauly Shore. And she brings Pauly Shore back home for like Thanksgiving. And the father is it's the father from Beethoven, and he is not. Nope, it's not. I'm picturing.
Wait, if it was Charles Grodin, you would have me sold.
He looks kind of like that guy.
Definitely does.
Same type of dude, but not the same guy. Anyway, and he does not like the shenanigans of the Pauly Shore character, as rightly he should not.
How does Son-in-Law relate to Meet the Parents? Is it the same sort of thing?
It's the same type of thing.
Spiritual prequel.
Except Stiller has that thing where he actually does nothing wrong. It's just perceived as wrong, like a series of unfortunate like accidents basically makes him look like an asshole. Pauly Shore actually he's sweet on the inside, but he's very
sour on the outside.
He does not act appropriately in any situation.
He tries really hard to fit in to the.
He wears overalls, but he does it too much because he seems like he's doing it all ironically.
He wears overalls.
He wears like big overalls
because he's on the farm. He's working on the farm.
I'm picturing him trying to be fancy and like tucking the.
No, opposite of that. Just like goes to like working class conservative.
I think they're
family.
kind of like a rich farm family though.
I think
they?
I'd say
they
rich
have a
farm.
nice big barn and stuff.
It sounds like the type of movie where he tries to milk a cow, but it's actually a boy cow.
It's actually the farmer's wife. That's what happens. Nancy, no.
But so Sandy is just like Pauly Shore.
Where did we?
Because they're both surfers.
Because he's the son-in-law, and he's the weasel.
Oh, he's the son-in-law. He's the weasel. Yeah,
he is an Encino Man, stuck in this biodome of Newport.
Encino Seaman.
So yeah, I guess kind of
Nailed.
I guess in the same way that in Pauly Shore's son-in-law, that the father of the bride does not.
Wait,
I'm mixing up all my movies now. The lady's father doesn't approve of her
three
friend.
amigos really enjoy.
I feel like I know there's this ring that they're the lord of.
Citizen Kane.
When Caleb first shows up, his voice, I thought it was going to be and was hoping and praying that it was going to be Will Arnett, but it was not. The first time you hear his voice, it's Will Arnett all the way. I'm like, Joe Bluth is here? What is going on?
Do we just hear him off screen? Is that...
He's hidden behind the refrigerator door, and he's like, Daddy's home, or something dumb like that.
Okay.
Daddy's home.
Will Arnett?
I'm Daddy.
Is he on this podcast? Yeah, never referring to yourself as Daddy just feels weird.
Tricks are what whores do for money, Michael. I do illusions.
Unless your kid is 2, you can't refer to yourself as Daddy. Oh.
Where the fuck are we?
We're at the first scene. Seth
we're punchy today. We're punchy.
Well, Grandpa is Penny's dad from Lost, right?
Penny from
Mr. Widmore.
Yes.
Old Charlie.
Penny from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, Penny from Inspector Gadget. It's her dad.
Okay, Penny from The Magicians.
It's yes.
What other pennies do we know?
Penny
so is
from
Desmond
Change.
Then Sandy? That makes sense. Sandy's the constant. He's the constant thing we like.
I don't think we're gonna be able to do this.
This episode?
No, the connection between Lost and all the characters from the OC. Because there is only one crossover as far as I know, which is Caleb. So he gets there and he's kind of an asshole and Sandy's kind of a dick to him. And Kirsten's sort of scared of her own father. And he comes in knowing something about Ryan, which is that he's burned down his model home.
He's pissed off.
And rightly so, he burned down his model home.
The whole thing didn't burn down.
It's true. He burned down
and
one
it's really
room
more of Seth's fault.
And the insurance people covered it, according to Kirsten.
Yeah, so he just wants to have a problem. It seems like he has a grudge. Maybe not a grudge is the right word. Maybe he just has a problem with the fact that Ryan came into their household without him being consulted, it seems like. I feel like he brought that up a couple times. That he did not like that Kirsten did not consult him about adopting a child. Like it's any of his fucking business.
Yeah, that definitely seemed to be the crux of it, that he was salty about that, so he was not going to like Ryan no matter what.
Do you think the first time he found out is when he learned about the model home burning down?
That's probably it's probably his intro to the kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the model home burned down by whom? Well, there's this kid that was staying with us.
Let's prosecute him. Oh, we can't. We adopted him. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Yeah, I could definitely see that's a bad intro. to
Daddy's
somebody.
mad.
And so he actually gets to meet Ryan when they're unloading groceries from the back of their car.
Specifically meat.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
specifically meat. It's a whole nother level of OC storytelling. And it seems like he dotes on Seth a little bit. I was expecting him to kind of give Seth the Mickey, or just give him. I was expecting him to just think of Seth as this weird little kid, but he seems like he actually is very affectionate of Seth, and sort of doting over him. And he kind of treats Ryan like the help a little bit. He just gets him to bring in the groceries. Though Seth could have offered to fucking help as
Right.
well.
I think Seth was bringing stuff inside. It was just Ryan has to take the meat around to the back.
I thought Seth
Yeah.
just or the charcoal bricks or something. I thought Seth just like left the stuff for Ryan to get and just walked in with his granddad. That's what I thought happened. He said something like, "You got it."
I could see Seth doing that.
Yes. Whenever he gets a chance not to do something physical and show how he is weak, the writers will do that.
No, I like the relationship between Grandpa and Seth. I think,
Surprising for me. For you?
yeah, when you bring in the character of like the stern grandfather, and then also later when you bring in like his super young girlfriend, I feel like there's a couple character interactions you kind of expect, and I think that was one that sort of subverted that. It was like, oh, that's cool. That's not how I expected this to play out. So I thought that was cool.
He is into being there. He does like his family. He's not completely opposed to showing up for this party.
Yeah, I would say the way he interacts with Sandy is one of those where I'd sort of, that's what I was expecting from, he kind of comes in and orders
Sanford.
everyone around.
Calls
But
him Sanford. Is that his real name, or is that just what Caleb calls him? So funny.
When Ryan takes the meat to the backyard, boy, he
Yeah.
finds a surprise, doesn't he?
you keep saying he takes the meat around back, and it's making me laugh every time.
What does Ryan do with his meat?
Takes it around the back.
Where does he put it?
And then,
It's in the grill.
ooh, yes, we get cued into, as I like to call it, the sexy grandma music before we see what he sees, which is Grandpa's smoking hot lady.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High style. Getting out of the
Definitely.
pool.
Little OK Go playing.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Okay. So, how does Ryan react to seeing Hot Lady get out of the pool? Does he treat it really casually, like he has a lot of chill?
It feels like so over the top, both Seth and Ryan.
It's a Tex Avery cartoon. That's the whole
yes,
scene. It's just
exactly.
that entire thing.
They're just hitting themselves in the head with their shoe, and just their tongues rolling all the way out. Yep.
I mean, to be fair, that's a very attractive lady, sure. And also, it's in the form of someone you would expect to be that attractive. I think maybe if they saw her at a club, it's not that reaction. But you see your grandfather's girlfriend, that's just not what you're expecting. I think it was just blowing their minds, the concept of these type of things in concert together.
Because I was thinking, you live in one of the wealthiest places where there's just beautiful people on the beach all the time.
Probably lots of old guys with hot wives.
Exactly. They're just like, whoa, a lady.
They gotta be used to it.
Yeah, but I did like
Lady.
that it cuts to Ryan and Seth in the hot tub right afterwards talking about how attractive she is, and then it cuts to the opposite angle, and she's like 4 feet away just swimming in the pool. There's like, oh, she's so beautiful.
Yeah, they're kind of staring at her. So they got in the hot tub just to watch her swim around. I thought it was kind of creepy. Like, were they going to the hot tub anyway? I don't think they were. So they're
It's
sitting
probably
there.
pretty hot outside.
Yeah, that's probably true. And they're hiding their boners underneath the bubbles as they watch her swim in circles. And so she comes over to join them. So was she okay? So she swims over and joins them in the hot tub to sit between them. Was she trying to make them uncomfortable? Was she trying to hit on Ryan, which obviously would make some sense? Like, what was she doing there? Did she know she was going to try to seduce Ryan, or is she just like, I'm going to make these kids feel silly?
I think, knowing what we learn about her throughout the episode, she saw them as peers and was hanging out with them as peers. That is how she viewed them, and that's how she treats her peers. She gets all up on them like that.
She's only 24 years old.
Right. I think she was bored and saw some kids her own age that she wanted to go play with.
How old are they supposed to be? Like 16?
I am guessing that if this show is 3 seasons long, and I haven't heard anything about college, that they are sophomores in high school, and they are probably 15-ish.
So now, but Luke is driving. So do we feel like Luke is older than all of them? He's in a grade above?
16.
He's the
he can
captain of the
drive,
water
though.
polo.
Well, that's true.
Also, I'm fairly certain Luke would drive without a license and be okay with it.
Yeah, whatever.
He's going to stop. I mean, the OC cops are probably...
He just flexes at him, does some cool water polo moves.
We're just puka nail. Puka.
puka nail.
Where's this puka shell necklace?
I love it.
Okay, so Gabrielle likes to Gabrielle comes over and sets up the frame for the episode. I always talk about the frame being there's a party at the end of the episode where everyone goes to. So she sets up the frame by saying that there is a birthday party for Caleb. I think they might have talked about it earlier, but she asked the boys if they're bringing dates, all that type of stuff. So the party at the end of the episode is set up there.
Gives them their mission for the episode to get dates and date them.
Yeah, it's the conflict for the episode set up right there.
Talking about subverting expectations, I like that she was engaging, and that I guess I'd kind of expect her to be vapid and kind of a shitty person, and I like that she was just kind of cool and was interested in getting to know them.
That's why I thought that's little reasons why I do like the OC so much, because things like that happen where you see the young, pretty, gold digging type character, and then she ends up being kind of cool. I mean, granted, she still, try to seduce Ryan, which I guess some people could see as a bad thing. I mean, she seemed like she was down to hang out and didn't think Seth was nerdy and just like gave them some life advice. And it just seemed like she was just kind of down to. She's just a nice person, a good person.
I like that they avoided making her this sort of like
entitled
sage. Well, on that end, but then the flip side, they could have made her this sort of like world wise, like
24.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that she's a believable character, someone who's flawed, but
she still made the bad choice of trying to hit on her. I guess her husband's grandson-in-law type of thing.
They're not married.
Yeah. And he's adopted.
That's true. It's not. Yeah, her boyfriend's grandson-in-law. It just seems like it's a shitty move if you're being logical about your relationship with this guy that you care about, which he obviously doesn't really care about being with him that much.
Right.
No, it's an office job, as we learn. Yeah. I do like people who are DTH, down to hang, as you say.
And by down to hang, you mean that she's just cool to go along with playing video games in the pool house and just.
And super encouraging to them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like Jamie Presley, but you guys say she's not Jamie Presley?
No, but she looks a lot like Jamie Presley. She didn't have a southern enough accent for that.
Her name is Nicole Hiltz, and she hasn't really been in anything famous. I mean, she was in Goldmember and Dude, Where's My Car, but hasn't really been in anything like huge.
Do we know her name in Goldmember? Because I imagine it's a Bond girl Powers name.
Yes.
This is cool on air talk. I'm just curious.
Here, if you give us
huge vagina tits. Is that her name?
No. Her name was Boobies in My Face Ago.
Jamie, what is it? Is it
French teacher? Hilarious. And IMDb does not have a character biography for French teacher.
Okay. What else happens at that pool, you guys?
Well, I mean that's kind of after she cues them in. I like the line of talking about Marissa and Luke. They've been dating since he was eating paste, and then Seth says, "I think he still does," which feels like an awkward line just as for a setup for that joke. But I was for it. And that was good. So,
I guess it did kind of throw into the setup.
But
I like that she was pressing like, hey, two good looking young fellas like you, why can't you get a date for the party? She's just encouraging them to go out and do things, and it seemed like she was kind of inhabiting this role of like the kind of the kind of the grandmother in a little bit, like young fellas that look nice. You guys should have boyfriend, whatever. You guys should have boyfriends, and but at the same time, she is basically only like 5 or 6 years older than them. Mm-hmm. So interesting. I mean, it's that kind of strange thing. Maybe you get more so in affluent parts of the West Coast. Maybe you've got the kind of the grandmother that is 24.
I would have loved if this episode she had progressively like started putting on bifocals and knitting and just baking things. It's been like, you don't eat enough.
Here's another cat for your house.
Yes. Grandma cat.
All right. We also got a scene with Kirsten and Caleb.
Yeah.
What is this?
Watching Kiki's new mom-in-law possibly swimming around.
Oh yeah, they're Kiki's judging her for her attractiveness, and they're talking about Kirsten's job performance. Grandfather not being super, her father not being super into how she's been performing at work, and she blames that on like the extra effort of dealing with Ryan, I believe.
So he's been unhappy with her performance at work?
I thought didn't he demote her right then?
I remember he the sense that I got was that. Well, according to her, she said that the company's been doing better and she's got them back up to speed. He made it sound like, I'm going to demote you, spend more time with your growing family. Like it was a direct dig at I
think that does make sense.
Here's for adopting that shitty kid.
So it's not that he was questioning her work. It was more like, I'm punishing you for adopting the kid.
Exactly.
Okay. I thought he took it as, well, I guess I just implicitly took it as something
that the company was doing bad.
Because why else would you demote her?
Well, so then it goes on to Marissa and Luke. Are we cool with moving?
Well,
is there
I
anything
want
we
to talk
missed?
about
Let's do
Julie
it.
and Jimmy really quick. There's a
do
scene
we
that,
get that
it
scene?
makes me
Okay.
laugh a lot. I don't know why, because it's so passive aggressive, and this one actually is passive aggressive. It's so bitchy. I don't know if I want to use a gendered insult. And it's just such a dick move.
cunty.
It's such a cunty dick move. Jimmy's
all-
working at his desk, and Julie walks in and drops the horse riding helmet and riding crop on his desk to show that they had to give away China the pony, or I guess that China the pony died. I'm not sure, but like it's just like. He already feels bad about losing all the money. He's trying to make it right, and you're just like, here's the ghost of this dead horse. I'm going to drop on your desk, make you feel worse. Are you happy now we had to lose our pony? Our daughter doesn't have her friend anymore. All those type of things.
Maybe she should go out and make some real friends.
Right?
Maybe this is for little Divergent's best.
Or just if she doesn't shape up, they're going to replace her with a new actress.
Little Caitlin. You notice how similar Caitlin's name is to Kirsten? I don't know if I have anywhere to go with that, but like Julie and Jimmy named their kid Caitlin, and Jimmy used to be in love with Kirsten.
So they could call her Kiki as well.
That was
KK.
weird. KK.
What's her last name? It's not start with a K, does it?
I liked on Jimmy's computer screen, it had this great big graph that was just sort of sloping down, and like I wanted to just be like a frowny face with a thumbs down instead, just like they were trying to telegraph so big about how bad it is.
It said like investment portfolio at the top, which is very clear graphics of bar graphs.
Yes.
I do like that he's back in the office and no longer on the couch, though. It's obvious he's made a clear decision, and in addition to Julie making a clear decision, Julie's I'm bummed about, but Jimmy's I think has it seems like he's trying to take Sandy's advice and be better.
Yeah.
He's trying to get a new job. He's trying to get back on his feet. Julie also informs that she wants a divorce.
Yeah.
She's made her decision from the earlier episode.
Lame. I had such high hopes. Although I don't know. Nothing solidified, I suppose.
It's somewhat justified, is it not?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that anytime someone has financial problems, divorce them, but it seems a little bit like this guy's like a straight up thief. He's not just kind of not as rich as he used to be. He's clearly still in love with Kirsten. He lied to her for all these years, even though it's shown that she kind of wants him to lie to her about work. He's lied to all their best friends, and they're now kind of outcasted pariahs of the local Newport area. He's stolen all his friends' money, is dishonest. I mean, all these type of things. Granted, you could make the argument they did that for her and all that, but I mean, I feel like it's not so. I feel like a lot of people really hate on Julie for this because Jimmy's likable in some ways. Maybe later, you guys don't see it yet too much, but I feel like they hate on her a lot. But I mean, come on, he pushed them out of the community almost with his actions.
I want to say it's a mistake because it's what we're learning from the protagonist is it's all about family and it's all about staying with your family. And when you have this character who's in direct opposition to what we're being told is the correct thing to do, it feels like, wait, why are you going the opposite way? What's wrong? What's wrong? You're a problem.
He's fighting opposite to the story, so yeah.
And I think everything you said, I buy as far as like objectively, but just from last episode where we spent the entire episode getting sold on the idea of why Julie should stick with him, I was like, yeah, okay, no, all right, you convinced me, So I think it was purely emotional reaction of like, man, I was really hoping that they
I
would
still
stay
think it
together.
does go back to her talking about looking in the limousine from the outside. I think, yeah, we learned reasons why maybe she should stick with him and all that, but we also learned what's at the core of her of not wanting to go back to being outside the limo, being the people looking in the lobster tank or whatever it is. Like, I feel like that trumped everything else for her. She can't go back. She doesn't want her kids to grow up the same way she did. She don't want to move back to Riverside or go to Chino.
So right before that, there's a pretty boring scene between Luke and Marissa.
Let's talk about this boring scene.
Only reason I say it is because on my OC bingo card, I could check off Luke saying, hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
And then
Luke.
Marissa says, hey, back, but I don't count it unless Ryan is there to say, hey, in reply.
Though Ryan does go over to talk to Marissa pretty soon after that.
We get a hey, hey.
She answers a hey.
We get a hey, hey,
hey.
a little bit later. But yeah, so at the very least, we get to see Luke and to play into Luke Watch to see which Luke are we going to get.
Yeah, we're getting super sweet Luke this time, right?
Best Luke ever.
Yeah, Luke is on good behavior after getting shot.
So in my head, there's a separate story where there's two twins that both look like Luke.
Go
and
on.
they're trying to
Go
play
on.
the same person while the other one has to do something at home.
Luke and Duke?
Yes. So we don't know if we're getting Duke or Luke. I wish one time he had an eye patch and a mustache. But yes, he is super friendly and nice to everyone, nice to Ryan, super into saying, I love you.
Well, we start off with him apologizing to Marissa. He comes in and apologizes to Marissa. He gets a cute little bear for it 'cause he's a super sweet guy.
I thought it wasn't going to be a bear. I
was
thought
a
he was
ring.
going to propose. I was about to say, holy shit, they're
Yep.
bringing out guns and now they're bringing out marriage. This is
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Better
This isn't
put a
the
bear
season
on it.
finale yet. If you like it, then you better put a bear on it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I like it. So I thought that was a super likable move, just the corny little bear he gave her. You guys don't know this, but Marissa has a thing for stuffed bears. She has a Share Bear, which is a Care Bear doll.
Oh, no. Seth likes bears too. God damn it.
He does not like bears. He likes ponies.
Otters.
Otters? I know, yeah.
So she has a Share Bear?
You
Is
know
that
what?
like Sonny and Cher?
Again, I'm going forward, but the same way that Seth has a Captain Oates, this kind of animus. No, I can go into that. He has kind of a toy that he talks about. She has a Share Bear, which is a Care Bear
Just like a
stuffed animal.
Got it.
And then Summer has something as well.
A fat squirrel.
Squirrel, that mean old squirrel. She didn't like that squirrel.
that girl got a fat squirrel.
She could have fast squirrel. Okay. Yeah, so Luke's nice to her now. He seems like, do you buy that he's trying to be a good guy now? Like, did this change? Was it a near-death experience, what we're seeing?
Yeah.
Luke is playing with my emotions. I don't know if I can open up to him, but I was tentatively able to do
The
it.
hazardous situation made them Luke boy at it again. Mm-hmm. That didn't really work.
How about that shot where he lies back on the bed and the camera focuses on his junk? Like a little foreshadowing.
Something for it had the demographic was young lady. That's what they want to see. They want to see that cock shot of Luke.
So Luke's the good one and Duke's the bad one. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, Duke's definitely the bad one. Let's get the harder D
All right.
at the beginning, you know?
Yeah, the hard D.
Yeah, Duke with the hard D.
Yeah.
Name of this episode is Duke with the hard D. Okay.
So yeah, we get nice Luke. That's the whole reason. And so then we find out, bye China.
So is China representative of his financial woes in the same way that America is beholden to China for our economic status?
I would say 100%.
I'm just
No,
fucking.
that's a
I
fascinating
don't know
point.
enough about economics.
International economics.
But it's the reason why he's breaking himself. So Ryan goes to meet Marissa. He walks. Do we know? Is he walking over to invite her to the birthday party at this point?
Yes.
Because he invites
Gabby's
her lady.
pumped him up and he's like, let's do this.
Because he definitely invites her later on the pier, and she says, "I'm already going with Luke." So he doesn't ask her here because Luke appears as well.
In the middle of asking, then Luke shows up with like just a weird ask for the aspirin.
Okay, well, I have comments about that. So Ryan's come over to ask Marissa to Caleb's party, and Marissa acts like, "Oh, hey," and he's like, "Hey." And
That's exactly
she
what
seems
they say.
bewildered and excited as always. And number one, my point is, can't she be like, Luke's here? Like, just give the guy a little bit of warning that his rival that always punches him, just like, Luke's here, by the way.
Yep.
Before you try to propose to me or whatever you're going to do or ask me, just know that Luke's. I felt like she could have been a bro and told him that Luke was here. And then number two, Luke does his apparition. He apparates like he always does, just appears in the scene as always. And he's nice to Ryan this time, right?
Yeah, super Luke.
Yeah.
He's like, thanks for saving my life. I would have been shot if it weren't for you.
And then he's just like, anyway, where's the aspirin? You guys continue to talk amongst yourselves. Like he didn't have any problem.
About the aspirin, right? I mean, that was definitely okay. Did you read that as a move by Luke? In my opinion, it was a move in that I mentioned earlier episode that Marissa seems to go for whoever the boy is that kind of is the more damaged or is injured or in danger or something like that. All right, so she has moved back to Luke where she was going more towards Ryan after she's been nursing him back to health. Now Ryan shows up, Luke comes out of nowhere and says, "Oh yeah, by the way, my pain still hurts. Can I get an aspirin? It's so painful." Like he's like, "Hey, baby, focus back on me." That's what I was getting out of that. But I might be giving him more. He doesn't seem super Jewy-like with his plotting.
Julie.
Yeah, Julie.
There we go. That's not what I heard.
What did you hear? Super Jewy like?
That's what I was just like.
Jesus Christ. Both of you? How if I live my life that you both assume I go super Jewy with this plot?
I was like, I don't even get, why do they love aspirin? I don't
Yeah,
get it.
I didn't even think about plotting. That's
Yeah, he was doing a move like Julie might do, like Attia the Julii from Rome. Which
There we go.
They look exactly the same. Watch an episode of Rome. It's like the same person, the Julie and her, but they're also very conniving. Anyway, I don't know if he has that level of sophistication to his moves.
I like that scene more with that reading, though, of him both making his presence known and then also establishing that he is the more wounded one of the three.
And so how does that exchange end?
Oh, I guess after Luke leaves, Ryan just kind of, that's why he doesn't actually get to invite her. He's just sort of like, I was just, anyway, bye. And then walks off.
And he does his biggest eye acting ever of the series so far, where he just opens them real wide and walks away.
Yeah.
Not sure exactly what it meant, but it fit, and it was cool to see.
It felt like a similar moment to when he asked her out in the
Outsider?
The ask out.
in the Outsider, when he had a trial run where they had asking her out didn't work well, and then Ryan asked her out a second time on the pier and it worked, or at least on the beach. This time he went over to ask her to Caleb's birthday party, and it didn't work. Granted, I guess she said no the second time, but it seemed like both these last two episodes, he has asked her the same thing twice. The first one didn't go as well. The second one went a little better.
When he had more confidence.
Yeah, like both times after he's gotten some feedback from someone else.
Becomes a little confidence Cohen. He does the thing, makes a mistake, learns from it, and does it better the next time.
Yeah.
Cohen's got no confidence himself, but he can glean it onto Ryan. We also have a scene with Sandy trying to get Kirsten to quit her job. Mm-hmm. Doesn't that happen pretty soon?
Happens right after.
Yeah, he's reminding her of Berkeley, of when they used to live in this nice house in Berkeley, how much happier they were then before they were stuck in this awful OC. And he's saying, hey, if you don't like working for if you don't like working for your dad and you don't like the way he treats you, just quit, honey, quit. And he mentions that you love that old house in Berkeley. Seth loved that house. So do you guys know when Seth moved? How old was Seth when they, as a 2-year-old, do you really love like a house in Berkeley? I thought that was a strange thing to say, like, Seth loved this house.
Yeah, because it feels like he's lived next to Marissa his entire life.
At least since he was, like, 5 or something like that, right? I think they talk about, like, Marissa's been dating Luke since they were 5. So I don't know why I assume that Seth was there since
then. That feels
too.
more like that's just Sandy projecting as trying to rope him in. Like, he would have been happy with anywhere
Seth was
when he's
really
2.
into the crown molding of
Yes.
craftsman.
He can play video games no matter where he's in. The house doesn't matter.
Yeah. Wherever he can have his creepy boat, he'll be happy.
Sandy needed to lay off, though. I felt like he was going in hard on this, and just like, chill out,
Well,
dude.
that's one of the bigger missteps by Sandy on this one was presuming too much to speak on her behalf, kind of like her father does, and not listening to her and just making decisions for her. Sandy decides to say, we had this one conversation about you possibly leaving your job, so I'm going to go to your dad later on in the episode and say, hey, she's thinking about quitting and causing more problems than if he had said nothing at all, speaking for his wife.
Alternate theory I just came up with right now. At the beginning of the episode, Seth mentions that he is the ultimate puppet master, and he's playing Sandy and Kiki against each other. Is Sandy playing Kiki and her father against each other? Because there's obviously some tension there, and the only way they will fix it is if they completely break it and then make it up. And so he's just doing this so that they can get to the point where they're buds again.
Okay, so he's orchestrating the makeup, not necessarily. Okay.
I feel like that is a Sandy move, but I feel like the OC would also have that be exposed at some point, and have him finally like gloat about it, because he does have a bit of a ego. If there's anything Sandy has as far as a negative, and it's not even really negative, he has a bit of an ego. I feel like he'd want to put that in somebody's face after it worked.
They don't cut to a close-up shot, but when he is standing in the background the entire time when they are getting back together.
I was going to get to that at the end, but let's talk about that now. I agree with Russell's reading of this almost only because when Kiki and her father make up, he is blurry, out of focus. You don't even know it's really Sandy, but if you remember what he's wearing and kind of his coloring, it's very obviously, and it lingers on him for a second after the scene's done as well. So I feel like it's him overshadowing the whole thing like he did it on purpose.
He like puts up his Mary Poppins umbrella and just floats away. He's like, my work here is done.
It's either that or it's just Steve Rodman forgetting to get a close-up. One of the two.
But yes, I was very aware that I would have a difficult time saying no to Sandy for anything. I'd just be like, I'm just assuming you're right about everything.
Pull down your pants, Jamie.
All right, Sandy. That's a weird Sandy impression, but I'm...
Pull down your underwear, Jamie. Leave your socks on, Jamie.
Sandy.
Brooklyn. No. What else we got? We got, we were talking about Ryan goes back to his job, which I forgot he had. I mean, he's there all the time. I don't know why I forget he has it.
I don't know why I assumed he would be fired for someone else getting shot at a party. Like, it's just like, well,
I was surprised. Like, oh, yeah, he does have a job. Well, I guess he's friends with the guy who gets shot. He just got there.
I guess I was assuming for some reason Donnie wouldn't lose his job and then fire Ryan as a result. But I think, probably Donnie disappeared.
He's got to have money to buy an iPod somehow.
Exactly. The biggest iPod money could buy.
So we got the work scene.
Then he goes to work.
And he goes to work.
And meets up with Grandma.
We got Gabrielle, Grandma, coming to visit Ryan at work. Why is he coming? Why is she? She's bored and she just wants to talk to him, or is she coming there to hit on him?
Yeah, coming to drink, coming to hit on him. Doesn't want to hang out with Grandpa and Seth as they talk about sailing.
Okay, that's right. That's why she's down there, because they're off sailing, and so I think she kind of got the vibe that she likes Seth and Ryan, and I feel like she also kind of identifies a little bit with Ryan.
Okay, so she's not maybe from money, but she's kind of like playing the role so she can get in with the nice family.
Yeah, and that they both kind of feel odd men out.
They're not part of the family; they're the exterior.
Yeah, so I think that's why she's kind of
I like that.
being drawn to him. So I don't know.
Also, it's sexy.
I don't know if I'd buy that she's specifically trying to flirt at this point. Maybe that's sort of
if she's
the tide
not,
starting
what
to
was
turn.
if she's not trying to flirt at this point or from the beginning? What was the turning point for her? Why did she just decide to flirt at some point, or try to kiss him or whatever?
It might be this kind of conversation that kind of does it. Like I could see. I mean, that she's like, statutory rape sounds awesome. Let's give it a shot.
Let's just isolate that quote from you.
Yes, it's my ringtone.
Jesus Christ.
Give it a shot.
Okay, Marissa also comes to talk to him about her love life while he's at work as well, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Marissa comes in
Oh yeah, because he's all
to
salty
basically
about
make
it.
him, I guess, make him choose between
Yep.
Luke and him for her. That was what was
So
her
weird.
objective of that conversation?
To make him actually say the words. He never actually says the words. All he
Say
has to do
anything.
is say the words.
Mm-hmm.
John Cusack.
That's what she said. Say anything or something at some point.
But yeah, that's the difficult part where it's making him the confidant, but also like the thing that she is talking about. So she wants to like vent her problems about him to him, and he's like, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, he says, ain't nobody got time for that. He says, if you came here for me to help you choose,
Sayonara, sister.
And he says, let me know what you choose. So he basically says, I'm not going to, if you have to, and I kind of like this sentiment, like if it's such a hard choice for you, just choose the other guy is basically the subtext I got from that. Like, oh, it's so tough. You don't know. Well, just take the other guy. I want you if you really want me. Call me back when you've made a choice. I'm not going to be here for this waffling back and forth.
It's very wise and King Solomon of him. It's like, I want this baby to live. So, I mean, don't cut the baby. Give it to the other mother.
Yeah, exactly. And what was Marissa's reaction to this whole thing? I mean, because it seems like a somewhat valid thing to be told back. Like, hey, deal with your own. How can I make this decision for you? You're the one that knows your heart. Her reaction is what?
Getting shitty, storming off.
Yeah, because as he was talking, she was giving him faces like, oh, I can't believe you'd say that, like pained little face. It was good kind of subtle face work, I guess. I could definitely tell this embarrassment / offended / sad going through her facial expressions as he's talking. And then at the end, she's kind of like, oh, whatever, okay. And then she like kind of leaves. And I thought it was just, I could see being upset by that, I suppose.
It's one of those things. I remember experiencing it more as a teenager. I certainly still experience it where you realize that you're wrong, but you're just mad about that fact. And
Yeah,
you're
it
just
happens
like,
to me all the time.
You're just like, God damn it, I'm more mad now that I'm not in the right anymore.
You like
So I'm
want to
just-
double down on what you're saying, just
Yes.
like so you don't get the satisfaction of showing me that I'm wrong.
You're just like, God damn it, sexy Ryan being right.
Stupid, sexy Ryan. Okay, so is that where Ryan asked Marissa to come to his birthday party?
No, because that's she storms off, and then we get to
So they have another talk that
storms
at that
off
time?
into a commercial break, and then we get Marissa and Summer getting together. Where
That's why I was confused. It's like they're at the pier, and then I guess it was a commercial break, then a new scene at the pier with Marissa and Summer there. So did Marissa go home, find Summer, go back? Did she call her and meet her at the pier somewhere else?
and they're
very-
grabbing some food, and Sumner unfortunately wearing a shirt.
That's true. And then Seth has come to meet Ryan, and Ryan is awful. So I guess it's Marissa has been at the pier. Why am I so worried about this? And she calls Summer to meet her there, and then
I'm
Ryan
saying
has gotten
Summer
off-
was already at the pier getting on a burn or a tan or a crisp.
And so then, but say Ryan gets off work, calls him to come meet him after work.
I don't think Ryan called Seth. I think Seth showed up.
He's just
That's-
lurking in
we've
the
seen him do that
shadows.
before. So then they're bike riding and skateboarding. just
I
around
don't
the
think they
pier.
were riding bikes and skateboards. They were.
They were definitely doing that.
He was skateboarding on his butt, if I remember right.
Yeah, come on. You can't be strong enough to skateboard the entire time.
So tired. He's so tired.
And so that's where they pair off for the first of many times in the OC.
Why
That's where they
was
paired off
Summer doing this? Summer goes, "Hey, come over here." Was it just to get Marissa and Ryan alone, or was it to get Seth to ask her to?
Both.
Or,
That was okay. So she goes, "Could you give me a hand?" And then he looks at her as if like she said some weird double entendre. And
Well,
then she was
she
like,
did.
"What? Can you give me a hand? Is that like?"
Well, she gets him to, well, I guess.
Oh, no. Okay, before that,
okay.
right, leading up to, she goes,
I get what
could
you're
you give me a hand? And he goes like, bull? And she goes, over here.
Like in your vagina?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I think he was trying to improv a joke with his face. That's what I'm going to guess.
That hairline he gave was an improv.
oh, yeah. Is my hair winning? Is that
Yeah.
what?
Who's winning, me or my hair? Me or my hair?
There we go.
And his hair's not acting crazy. He looks like $100. Dollar bills.
Yes.
Okay, so Marissa and Ryan have a little talk about their feelings while, from what I can tell, Summer is distracting Seth so they can talk.
Weirdest. It goes back to later when Gabrielle makes Ryan eat the cherry, and when she's like, when Summer's getting Seth to lick her finger, it's like a weird like reverse phallic sexual thing. I don't know. It was a weird bit.
Though Seth could have gone more sexy with it. I feel like if a lady asked me to lick her finger, I might go. I feel like he did it as low impact as possible.
Just deep throats her fingers.
Apparently, I have it on good authority, though, that Pico de Gallo, it will not fuck up your nails, even if you just get them done.
So she was doing it on purpose just because she wanted
No,
to.
she was seducing him because she wanted him to be susceptible when she invites herself to the birthday party, right? That was her plan all along. She wants to try to go meet guys meet rich guys that are friends with Caleb Nickel, the grandfather.
You mean the Donald Trump of the West?
Oh,
Donald
shit.
Trump. Topical.
When will he run for president?
Nobody knows.
So was it sexy when he licked her finger with the pico de gallo, or is it gross to mix food and foreplay? What's going on?
That was
there?
hard.
I don't know when she last washed her
teens.
hands. She probably tasted like suntan lotion oil.
Like sand and stuff.
You're ruining it.
She tasted like his cat.
Tasted like sandy.
Sandy.
Why do your fingers taste like sandy?
Okay, and let's get out of this scene. So basically, Ryan asked Marissa to the birthday party. She says, I'm already going with Mr. Luke.
In the worst 80-yard line ever,
Yeah.
it says, he asked me this morning. Like, when her face was not on the screen.
Douchey producer is like, well, do we know when he asked her? I guess we just have to put in there so no one's confused. I don't think I would have cared. I was assumed earlier than when she's talking to him now.
Yeah, when he did not ask her.
Literally any other time you haven't seen her on screen, that's when he asked her.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. We got dinner with Caleb. Family dinner again, like we had when Ryan's mother came to town. We got the family dinner.
Yeah.
We get a wonderful term of skirt chasing.
Jason Skirt,
Old
cowboy
cowboy.
lingo. Well, he specifically says you're still not into a football player or something like that.
He
or
says,
is that at the beginning?
there's that quick wit.
There's that quick wit.
Using it to help chase skirts.
Yeah, you think you'd be a better skirt chaser?
I don't see how wit helps that. Well, maybe I do. Never mind. I see what he's saying.
You can outwit the ladies to get in their skirts. See, yeah, it doesn't seem great when Caleb's broken down, right?
No. I liked when Seth said that Summer was going to come with him, and Sandy comments that Summer's hot, as if this is like this playful dad thing to say. Like, she's still probably 16, right? Like, that's a weird thing for a dad to say.
I feel like my dad would do something like that.
Yeah.
Just partially because they're actually hot, and then partially just to make you feel awkward. But I like that specific exchange because he says Summer's hot. Then Seth responds with, "Just go, Dad." And
Then the best line ever of "You go." Oh my god!
so beautifully dadly, corny, but awesome. I would have cracked up if my dad said that to like my brother or something growing up. You go. So Sandy's a jerk, and he tells Caleb basically that Kirsten wants to quit, even though, again, he can let her speak for herself, first of all, and then second of all, they haven't really decided that's what she really wants to do. They've just been talking about their old house at Berkeley. So Caleb gets angry and expects a resignation from her. He gets very defensive. I got a feeling of he is very self-conscious and very cares what his daughter thinks, and it seems like she's pushing away. He's going to push her away first. He seemed like very upset that she wanted to distance herself.
It also seems that he is very sensitive to the idea of being shut out of her life.
Yes.
It seems like since
Because
he's
of her sister.
Yeah, because his dead wife, and that they feeling like that's his last link to the family, and her doing things without telling him really kind of hurts his feelings.
Did you get the sense that they butt heads a lot because she reminds him so much of his ex or his dead wife?
Yeah.
I get the feeling he mentioned specifically that she reminds him of her. So I'm thinking that's the thing there. Like she seems very, very similar type of woman, and that he has problem. Being reminded of her maybe is a problem, or there's so many emotions involved in that. Also, she represents all the relationship he has with his daughters because his other daughter is person non grata. Is that what you call it? Or she's AWOL. She's persona non grata, I guess.
She's Inagata Davida. Yes.
She's honey. Yeah, she's gone, and they can't find her. He hasn't talked to her in a while. So Kiki, Kirsten is representing everything, all of his family he has left, basically.
Yes.
They can get a hold of.
And Ryan.
And so it feels like him losing control of that. He lashes out the only way he can by cutting her off to the company. What's the line where they mention weed that Seth walks in and then they're like, Seth, get out of here. And Ryan, guess who's a stoner? Because something about like, have you been hitting your old bong again or something like that?
Yeah, because Sandy used to smoke pot in like college or something. So when they're arguing, Caleb throws it at Sandy. And so Seth overhears that and is like, what? Dad smoked weed? Ryan, guess who's a pothead?
Yep. I thought that was a good, quick back and forth exchange. Made me laugh.
And that's where Seth's not allowed to be in the room when they talk. But I guess that is a pretty grown-up conversation. And it's not like he's exactly mature for his age.
He's giggling about him smoking weed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think Seth has probably never tried weed at this point.
Yeah. When in the next scene he asks, "Hey, do you want to go find my dad's bong?" I didn't think it was for smoking weed. I thought it was just, "Hey, it's a bong."
It's a treasure. Like, that's it. Let's point at it. So we found it. Though for a nerd that's Arrested Development, he's got a pretty good six pack when he's floating in the pool. So I'm like, damn, you don't see too many 15-year-old nerds with a great six pack.
Sailing gives out. That's the other thing, by the way. Whenever they're like, "Summer, who's Summer?" I wanted their parents to be like, "Oh, you mean the name of your boat?"
And he just like gets super red and walks out.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
That means everyone knows because his grandfather was on that boat. So
Yeah.
who
I
doesn't
assume
know?
they were using like a boat he has in the harbor. Like they're on the grandfather's better boat. 'Cause that's
Fair enough.
that stupid little creep dinghy.
Yeah, he was probably letting
term creep dinghy.
Don't call him that.
he was probably letting Seth drive him around while he drank.
That's probably I mean, everyone in this family just kind of, well, I guess not Sandy, but it seems like they're always having specifically the wine as well.
Okay, so that goes into the pool house. Ooh. They're playing video games and reading comic books.
Yeah.
There's a line where she's like, "This game isn't any fun," and he says, he looks at it and he goes, "Ryan, you've been playing the pirate game? That's a little bit."
I couldn't hear what he said.
Okay.
I backed up and listened to it again.
I thought Mindy, and I was like, "Is that a reference to something?" Like I heard that's a little bit Mindy, and I don't know what that means, but.
That's a little bit rock and roll.
I'm a little bit Mindy.
I'm a little bit patinkin.
I'm a little bit Mork.
Handy. Very nice. Nope, that's not Mark and Mindy.
Mindy Patinkin. God damn, that's his sister's name. just him with pigtails.
Mindy Pooh Stinkin. The dumbest joke I've ever made. Okay, so yeah, they're playing the pirate. Grandma's playing the pirate game. And
Yes.
so somehow, because of her playing it, Seth knows that Ryan has been playing the pirate game, which makes him something.
Yes.
I did not understand what was going on there. So
Ryan is reading Azrael book,
yeah.
which we know about Azrael. He is
Makes out with his grandma.
yes, and is also not the one true Batman. So he's an outsider. So Ryan's reading about an outsider trying to be on the
Girlfriend.
inside.
Replacing Batman when Batman gets injured, kind of like he's going to replace Luke because Luke's been shot.
Oh,
It's a bit.
so
I'm
is
trying.
Marissa Gotham then?
My city screams. Oh, is that the spirit? I can't remember.
It's
Is that the spirit that says my city screams? It's a Frank Miller line.
I'm not the boyfriend you deserve. The
Well, then he's
boyfriend you
Commissioner
need right
Gordon.
now.
So
Is it Bat? Okay, I know not to divert too much to Frank Miller. Is it Daredevil or Batman where they punch the bad guy, whether it's Joker or Kingpin, and because of the punch, he knows the alter ego because he's like, I've been punched like that before, so he knew the do you know what I'm talking about?
I feel like that's got to be
It's a
Kingpin.
cool move, right? It's like that move where Lois and Clark, Superman kisses Lois, and she knows it's Clark because same kiss as Superman. I feel like it's a badass move to do.
Wish.
He knows that punch so well.
Those characters were flipped, but and then the kisses and the punches. But
Kisses Kingpin.
yes, I've been kissed like that before.
I know you're dead.
That feels like more of a Kingpin move. I don't remind because I'm assuming you mean the Dark Knight Returns.
I guess. Yeah, it's definitely not Dark Knight Returns, right?
No,
So when else has Frank Miller written for Batman?
it's year one, but was
Yeah, that's what
Joker
I was
in year
thinking. I
one?
can't remember. I don't think so. It's mainly Gordon.
So I think it's got that's a Kingpin move. That's not a Joker move.
Yeah,
That's a
okay.
Kingpin move.
That's true. Kingpin, Joker just knows. I think always anyway. Not to get too diverted into comics. Okay, so does anything else happen that Pool House is worth talking about? Really?
Yeah, makes out with Grandma.
He makes out with her then?
Yeah, he goes off to find the.
That's right. I forgot that it wasn't the first time when they were at the party. Yeah, so Seth goes off to do something, and then they make out.
Creepy or romantic?
Creepy. Because she's too old for him because he's a child. And so she is an adult, and he, of course, is going to say yes, even if, that's the smartest thing to do. It's not smart for her. It's not smart for him.
He doesn't know.
Yeah. I'd do it if I was him in that situation. It's not going to be like, no, thank you, ma'am. This is inappropriate.
No, it's not his fault. It's her
his
fault.
fault, yeah.
He lives in a house full of windows. Like, that house is just windows and doors, and he's making out with his grandma in view of the house.
People in glass houses should not make out with their grandmothers-in-law.
That is a fact. That is what is crocheted on the wall.
On the glass wall.
But I did like, once again, subverting the expectations of the following scene when we get Seth and Ryan floating in the pool and they're talking about it. One that like Seth knew it was something was happening.
He did not know they made out.
No, exactly. And I
he
like
was just
that
trying to give
reaction.
him a hard time. Like, were you guys cutting knives? He said, "Are you guys mad?" I saw that you guys were mad dogging each other.
She was mad dogging you.
Let's talk about this. Okay, he thought that she was mad dogging him. So we established in an earlier episode, The Outsider, that mad dogging was when the Oceans looked at Donnie like they wanted to fight him. So does mad dogging also mean if you look at someone like you want to fuck them, or the guys from the OC looking at Donnie like they wanted to fuck him in The Outsider? What was going on? How's mad dogging work?
It probably means looking to fight him, but that is Seth overhearing something that a tougher older kid said and trying to use it and using it incorrectly. That's
like if he tried to use the word dank, he might not be able to use the word dank correctly. Like
she was danking you.
You were danking all over each other's dankies.
Danked my dab.
You dabbed my dank.
Got a danky ass.
That was super good writing. Super clever, super fun, super great to bring back. I really dug that.
And I really expected, in terms of where you see something like this going, I expected Seth to be mad about it, and this being like the drama
mad
of the
as a
episode.
dog, you would say?
No, I would not say that.
Because obviously he's super close with his granddad, and so he'd be upset that Ryan was doing this.
Just like, why are you coming here making out with my grandma?
I think maybe if he had known her maybe if it was just a thing that he was like super close to the strangely young but like nice grandmother, he's known her for like 10 years, I feel like then he might be upset. But I mean, I don't think he really views this one as a serious girlfriend of his grandfather's. It's not like it's his actual grandmother. If Ryan had made out,
once again,
yes or no? Would this be a better episode if everything was the same? Say Betty White was his actual grandmother that was married to Caleb instead of having a young lady.
Opening slow motion of her getting out of the pool. I would love it.
Be a good episode.
She's just in bloomers. She's not in like a bikini or anything, just a onesie.
You thought about this one, Jamie?
Listen, I've got some fan fiction you guys could read that would curl your
bathing
toes.
Shorts.
Yes.
Playing pranks.
So I like that he was just excited about it and they laughed, and instead of it turning into like that being the drama of the episode.
Then the party starts.
Okay, so the actual birthday party gets started after that. Kirsten is actually still throwing her jerky father his birthday party, which I was actually watching this with my mother in the room, and she seemed to be very surprised that she's still throwing him a birthday party. Yeah. I guess after the kind of argument they had about her performance at work, or if she was very surprised that she would still throw her father this party.
You got to keep up appearances in the OC. It doesn't matter what's going on.
Hey, 150 people had been invited already. You do not cancel a party with 150 people.
God, could you imagine having a party for yourself with 150 people? First of all, I don't know that many people. Second of all, I would want them all out of my house.
Yes. I'd be the best present they could give me would be not showing up to my party.
Even you guys that I like, I would not want you at my house with 145 other people because I only like 5 people.
Nope. I'd be in my pool house with my grandma.
If you know what I mean. That's our new lingo for stuff. Yes. Every time I say I'm masturbating, I'm going to say I'm in the pool house with the grandma. Love you, Nanny.
That's a little bit Mindy.
So at the party, Luke's a little bit Mindy Patinkin. Luke is actually nice to Seth for once.
He's amazing to him. Compliments him on his home.
Yep.
Yeah.
He does a nice house. Well, yeah, I bet Luke can appreciate like nice houses and things like that. Like,
does Luke love architecture? Is he going to be a great architect one day?
That's a good question. I don't know what Luke's thing is. I mean, certainly water polo, but I mean, is there big water polo programs at colleges? Like, what is he going to do with that? What is Luke's thing, I wonder? His dad runs a car dealership, so maybe something to do with that.
Oh, he's Buddy Garrity's son?
It's very much Buddy Garrity's son.
Feels like it, yeah.
That's Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I don't get your...
Always Friday Night
My
Lights.
favorite recurring bit is that's Friday Night Lights.
I think it's almost every episode so far. I think we've used Buddy Garrity actually twice now.
I've used
I mean, it's high school shows. There are dramas that we've actually watched. I mean, if we had watched 90210 or any of those things, we'd probably be making references to those.
Instead, it's Friday Night Lights and Buffy.
Veronica
And
Mars.
Rip Taylor.
Damn it, we almost got through an episode without talking about Rip Taylor. Oh,
Shablowy.
Shablowy. We almost got through it, but we didn't. Oh.
I think she's
Well, yeah, what do you think about that, Jimmy?
Well,
I meant Jimmy Cooper.
Oh. Well, I don't want to get into
Jimmy can't think anything about it. He's not invited to this party.
Oh,
No.
but Jimmy shows up at this party.
What?
He wants to get a job from Caleb. So it's his way to dig himself out of his debt is to actually beg for a job. He thinks that managing people's money is not so different than managing accounts for real estate, I guess.
Yeah.
It's still dealing with money and talking with people, right? So he's going to try to hit up Caleb for a job.
Which we know what's going to happen because earlier Caleb just makes jokes about Jimmy the entire time. He's like, so tell me about Jimmy. What's this trouble he's gotten into?
It feels like a classic like comedic move or something that would that be dramatic irony? Something the audience knows that Jimmy doesn't or something? Like we're set up knowing that it's ultimately going to be a tragic fail for him in a almost like pathetic way because we've seen how Caleb feels, but Jimmy doesn't know that. I think it's a good tactic. I felt it made for good like anticipation for what's going to happen. We knew exactly what's going to happen. We just got to see the fallout of it, I guess.
Just he is a train wreck of a life, and it's only going to get.
But he seems like such kind of a nice enough guy. Like he
He's
seems
nice.
always pretty pleasant. Like he doesn't seem to get angry and like lash out or blame or. It seems like I don't know. I think I think he's very likable.
He followed Sandy's advice. What more can you ask for someone to do?
And he seems like he does care about his family.
I will say so. Right after we get nice Luke, we get Sandy and Kirsten making up. Making up because Sandy talks to her and he goes, "You know I'm no good at apologies," and then that's it. Then she forgives him. Like I can't believe that works. You just be like,
Try it next time.
"I'm not good at this, so done being mad at me."
That's my move for sex as well. You know I'm not good at sex, and I don't have to have it because they just accept that.
Nope. Heading to the pool house
So
with
then
Grandma.
damn, I was gonna say then Sandy takes her to the pool house with Grandma.
Sorry. And then we also learned that Marissa is virgin.
Oh yeah, that's where we get the conversation between Summer and Marissa in the bathroom, revealing that Marissa is actually a virgin. I wrote vampire. I wrote vampire.
It's just Summer's just putting on makeup by herself in the mirror, and then it turns around and we see Marissa
Just
standing
eating
next
bats.
to her, as a vampire does.
Summer attributes Marissa's vampire-tude to her choice, though. It's like,
And instead of like it just being a thing that had never come up before.
Well, I feel like Marissa, if she's dated Luke since she was 5 and he's hot and she's hot, I mean, it's going to come up. I mean, there's a reason if you've dated somebody for 10 plus years.
Yeah. And when she finally says, spoiler alert, yeah, let's get to Bone Town, his reaction is finally, like, yes, okay, as if it was something that he'd certainly been waiting on.
Do you think Luke has not been pushing her for some sex?
but his reaction was the most Luke non-Duke
Warm?
thing ever. Like, I have never seen someone on a TV show ask for consent more than Luke asked for consent right then. That
Asked
was
for positive consent in the show from 2003.
Yeah.
as opposed to the other consents.
But Luke wouldn't. You don't want to ask for negative consent.
No, they mean the other consent in the episode.
I would like if he's like, not asking for consent is for queers.
You think an earlier Luke would definitely be like, "About time, babe, come over here."
Exactly.
This dick ain't gonna suck itself. But instead, he's like, "You sure? Okay." It's points in Luke's favor a lot because he's been kind of rough in the last couple episodes, so he can bring you back on Luke's side a little bit. Sweet Luke, as I call him, Sweet Luke. And then, Summer and Marissa are at this party in the bathroom. They're talking about that Marissa's still a virgin, not a vampire. And specifically, she asks Marissa, "What are you waiting for? He's beautiful, sweet, and crazy about you." All right. So that's her justification. Like, hey, you have all these things going for Luke, apparently. Why have you not fucked him yet? So Marissa leaves. And where does she go, though?
Well,
To the pool house with Grandma.
So Grandma's trying to fuck little boy Ryan.
yes.
Kind of pressuring him into it, in my opinion.
See giant old iPod, which was adorable.
Yeah, he's listening to... I don't know what he's listening to.
What you say?
He's listening to What You Say is Grandma, 24 years old, statutorily starts to try to rape Ryan. And then Marissa busts in without knocking. I have a couple questions about this scene. One, this is where he lives. Shouldn't she knock on his door? Two, how creepy is it that I guess we already talked about this, but how creepy is that Grandma is trying to fuck Ryan here? And then three, does this seem to imply that when Summer was talking to Marissa about Luke, saying he's beautiful, sweet, and crazy about you, and Marissa seems to agree. Then she goes right to the pool house. Does that mean that she's thinking, yes, all those things, but about Ryan, not Luke? Did you guys get that? I felt like those three qualities seemed, obviously Summer was saying about Luke, but what they applied to when she went right to Ryan after hearing that was, I'm describing Ryan to you.
Yeah, I see that.
I didn't get that specific, but I mean, if nothing else, you get from that her saying, why weren't you sleeping with Luke? And her saying, the reason I'm not is because I want to bone down with Ryan.
So when Summer describes those qualities, she likes those qualities, yeah, but those qualities don't apply to Luke in Marissa's opinion. They apply to Ryan.
I like that reading.
That's what I got. So
I think that makes sense.
Reminded her who she should be with, but she's like, that's the person that you're describing. So is it it's creepy, right? We established that the sex between the 24-year-old and the 16-year-old is creepy. Yes. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean, if you had asked me at 16 a 24-year-old grandma getting it on with me, that would be amazing. But looking at it as...
But you're also 16, so you
exactly. You know. If you told me it was an 80-year-old grandma, I'd been like, meh, whatever.
Might as well.
Yeah.
I had another question there, but I can't remember what it was.
Was it how many bathrooms do the Coens have in their house for 150 people? Because that's crazy.
Oh, that's a lot of doo-doo.
With this, just that one? Is that why both Marissa and Summer had to go in there together?
Hey, fellas, why do ladies go in the bathroom together all the time?
But seriously, but airplane food, really.
So then Marissa kind of runs away from the situation. What is her reaction there? What does it say to you that she was expecting to go there, lose her virginity to Ryan instead, and she was disappointed by someone else being there, and she feels betrayed, so she runs out kind of tearing up, crying.
Yeah.
I mean, does she have a right to be upset there? I mean, I guess she has a right to be whatever the way she feels, I guess, right? But I mean, if you're talking about story-wise and stuff, I mean, she have a leg to stand on?
That's a tough sell. I mean, she's kind of very selfishly hoping that both Luke and Ryan. I almost got through the whole podcast, but
that's my cough.
But that both Luke and Ryan would be waiting for her somehow to make this decision, and her feeling betrayed when Luke is just making out with someone else. I don't know. That doesn't feel like that's
Ryan. You mean?
Yes. Sorry. I'm assuming Luke was making out with someone else.
Luke has done that a few times already.
Yes. And no, I mean, I guess maybe her feeling of disappointment is valid, but she can't really put that aggression towards.
She doesn't have possession
Ryan.
over his sexuality ever, really. But I mean, certainly not here. And I don't get the feeling that Ryan would react that way personally.
So maybe it's not so much anger. Maybe it's just that she was sad that she picked him in her mind and that he has moved on.
Doesn't it seem a little bit of an aggressive move to then the reaction to go immediately go find Luke and pull him away to go lose her virginity to him? That seems like a little bit more than just kind of a sad disappointment. That seems more of like, I need to get back at Ryan. That's what I got from that. When she runs out to immediately find Luke and is aggressively kind of dragging away, it's in a rush. It seemed like she wanted to specifically do this to Ryan.
I guess I could read it more as maybe being a little mad at herself, a little disappointed, and that's sort of like, I guess this decision has been made for me. Let's just get this over with. I'm sad that the one I liked is what picked someone else.
I guess it could also be like, I feel silly now. He's done it before. He's doing it casually with her. Like, why am I making such a big deal about this? It's obviously not a big deal to Ryan, so I might as well just get out the way.
Right.
That maybe. And
so all of that, I could read it the way I just described it, with the exception of the very last line of the episode when she says,
"Yeah, talk about that."
Yeah, that's whole like, I've been doing this because I'm mad at you, and that's bullshit.
Which I think just you leave that out of there, and I think the episode is better for it if you just leave that last. But that makes Marissa look using sexuality as a weapon almost. I don't love that last line. I still think it gets most of it across. It just makes her look a little better.
Also, how is it too late? How is it? How is it too
I have
late?
that question written down.
Like now that her vagina has Luke inside of it, it's she can't be with anyone else ever.
Nope.
Dude, Ryan knows what she was going to do. He was still coming over to talk to her afterwards. I don't think Ryan cares if someone's been there. It shows what she thinks about sex, I think, right? Like, I feel like she's like, no, you're too late. I've already had the sex.
I would have assumed that they had boned down long before anyway.
Yeah,
like, if
Ryan's probably like, what do you mean?
They've been together
why does
since...
Ryan know that she's he doesn't know she's a virgin.
Right.
So he's probably like, okay, he had sex with Luke. You probably do it all the time. It seems like it was a weird... We'll go into if that's creepy too, with him waiting for her to get back from like fucking this guy.
Seth's rubbing off on him.
Stop rubbing off on Ryan, Seth. Every time we say it. But before that happens, there's a couple things that happen at the birthday, right?
Oh yeah, all this other stuff. But I did like that Marissa, upon finding Ryan, it's definitely take my virginity as fast as you can. That made me laugh.
I'm into that, but he
Gingerbread man.
Yes.
gingerbread ginger. Take my ginger virginity as fast as you ginger can.
For ginger tea. There we go. That's what I was trying to do.
For ginger tea.
Virginia
That
tea
sounds
is for
delicious.
lovers.
But no, we get the Julie and Caleb scene. I loved so much. It didn't make me love Julie as a character, but I thought that was amazing. Where she kind of goes like,
You have the Julie eye with Caesar. Exactly.
Jimmy fails miserably at trying to get together with Caleb, and then she goes, now it's time to, what'd she say? Finish what you started or clean up what you start, whatever she said. And to see her go
wipe up your mess from your.
My prediction for the future of Julie and Caleb is that they eventually hook up, and Julie becomes Seth's new grandmother, and that Caleb continues to demote Kiki and give those powers and responsibility to Julie. So now she has a job and is queen of the OC. Yes. That is what I think happens
love
next.
it.
I think this is the beginning of that.
Okay.
This is an alliance forming.
I love that. All right, I want to watch that. If that doesn't happen, I'm canceling this show. We're done.
Is that a promise? Was that promised? Is that a promise?
That's a pretty good guess. That's what I'm saying.
That's awesome.
Pretty good guess.
Fascinating. Okay. So yeah, I thought that was great. That was giving Julie, the actress who plays Julie, a good chance to have a cool scene, watch her be manipulative and play him very well.
Basically, she uses where Jimmy is kind of pathetic and has no legs to stand on when he's asking for help. Julie is using the weapon, or at least the tool that she has in her belt, which is her sexuality. She's able to influence men by flirting with them and promising them things with the things she says, even though she doesn't necessarily say anything outright. She's a good manipulator.
And also she's cashing in on people feeling sorry for her. Yeah. It's not her fault, and so she's cashing in on
That's what she's been doing since the beginning is, how can I... She's brilliant, it seems like. She's immediately was running damage control at the Noopsies as well when they went on that retreat.
Yeah.
She knows how to play these things. She knows how people think because she's one of them. She knows what she would think in this situation if it happened to somebody else.
Okay, so next scene, Summer and Seth. I want to break down each individual part, but just as a whole, it was very confusing. So the beats of this scene are Seth frustrated that Summer is hitting on other guys.
Summer stands up to Seth, doesn't like being used for her to meet.
Other way around. Seth stands up to Summer.
What'd I say?
Summer stands up to Seth.
Seth stands up to Summer, doesn't like being used.
Yes.
For to be able for her to meet rich guys that are friends of Caleb.
So he quotes specific things about her life that he remembers from third grade.
In a big sweet moment that lots of fans are super into, this scene.
I would say borderline creepy, but
absolutely creepy.
That like I've been watching. Okay, so once again, let's go back to that. She kisses him, and in response to clearly she liked that, and then immediately goes back to flirting with guys, but somehow placates.
Which I
Seth.
like a lot better than if they were just together from this episode on. I don't know if that frustrates you or not. I think that's a lot more interesting move than, now we're in love now. You knew a couple things about me.
No, I guess I just don't understand what was said with that, where she kisses him.
She kisses him for saying that, one, he remembers that she used to feed a little squirrel that was being picked on by the bigger, meaner squirrel.
And wrote a
two,
poem.
She liked her poem. He liked her poem that she wrote about mermaids. I wish I was a mermaid and was friends with all the fish, a shiny tail and
I didn't memorize the fucking poem. I'm not going to be
my wish. I believe it was. I thought maybe one of you would have written it down. I've heard it a couple times. Anyway, so I've tried to close read that a couple times, but I don't really know what I'm doing. I know it's two animal situations there.
Summer loves the beach. She loves to tan, but we never see her in the water like a mermaid.
She also seems like she likes the little squirrel that's being bullied by the bigger one. So I don't know what to do with that exactly, but she is very much wooed and very much impressed by how much he knows about her, that he's cared about her, he's known her this long, that he actually knows something about her, as opposed to these men who are maybe who she's supposed to, as a Julie Cooper soon to be. She's supposed to go after these people like Caleb and end up, and this is why it's called The Girlfriend, and we're looking at the different connotations of being a girlfriend in the OC, right? This is her trajectory
as a metaphor,
right? And so she's now she's trying to resist it. So she's learning that she actually probably does maybe like Seth, but she continues to resist that. Like she's supposed to be like Gabrielle. She's supposed to marry Rich. This is what she's supposed to be, but she's just starting to realize that maybe that's not what she actually wants.
Okay.
That's where I was seeing that. So at the end of it, she kisses him. She's like, "Thanks, Seth." Now she's like, she felt very happy at the end of it. Like, it's great. I know this about myself. Time to go back to it because that's just what we do.
Right.
It's just like this is my role. This is what I'm expected to do. Mm-hmm. But that's still just, but now there's a big change. She's not using Seth to get to that. She's still doing what she's doing, and she hasn't just changed because of one thing he said. That's not realistic anyway, but she's no longer using Seth to get there. I think this is the change in the character from being somewhat of a negative or somewhat of a villain character to starting to see a change. She's no longer using Seth. She sees him as a person now.
Okay.
And that's my opinion on Summer. I like Summer a lot. I think she's very complicated.
Except she's also trying to fuck the grandfather. Actively pursuing. They said, "Oh, he's so sexy. Oh, he's gonna be there." I can't.
Donald
like
Trump of the
she's
West.
like,
Sexy.
But so I guess the thought. So it seems like the fans really like Seth quoting the poems and
I
doing
know
that.
Summer Seth shippers and just fans of Seth and Summer.
do they have a name?
I feel like I've seen Seth and Summer forever written a lot. I don't know if there's a specific name for it. I feel like I see that with the number 4.
Because
a
like
lot.
if you ship Buffy and Faith together, they call it like
Baith?
Baith. Yeah. So there's stuff like
awesome.
So you either call it
Call her
Seth.
Fuffy.
God damn it.
Fuffy.
Nope.
Fuffy forever. It'd be
So it's either Seth or
Sethmer or
just Seth or Summer.
Summer or it's either
I like-
Seth or Summer. Yeah.
I like Sethmer the most. Also, Summer Maid. Wow.
Oh,
What do they call Ryan and Marissa shippers?
Mariah.
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
So after that, we get Kirsten and Caleb
They're bonding over
Making up
missing the mother. They're missing Caleb's mother. They bond over
and
that.
missing the sister. We
And
found
missing
out
the
a little
sister.
about the missing sister at that point.
I like it. It's a good band name, Missing Sister. But I also got a feeling of a little bit of resentment from both of them about the sister as well.
I feel like that shows the similarities between Kirsten and her dad a lot. That they both sort of disapprove of the sister, probably for the same reasons. They're both probably controlling, and that why they've been at odds is because they're so similar. So I liked all of those things to show why they're. And it kind of painted the dad as sort of a sad old guy who misses his wife.
That's true. And I thought it was telling how he asks Kiki to come back to work, basically. He doesn't say, "I want you to come back to work. I'm sorry." It's like, "I expect you to work on Monday, Kiki."
Yeah.
It's very much apology without apologizing. Let's not even talk about it. Very subdued move there.
And unsaid. No, I really liked that scene. I thought it was effective and got all emotional at it. And so after the daddy-daughter scene, then we just see Marissa getting it on.
Before we see Marissa getting on with Grandma in the pool house and the daddy
what?
mom scene.
Nope.
No.
That's in my...
Oh.
Wait, this is the part where when they make up, when Kirsten and Caleb make up, we see a blurred. I assume again, Russell thought it was the same person.
It's 100%
I
Sandy
think it's
because they
Sandy.
do show him, but they never cut up close to him. They cut. You can see him in a far shot
I
because
just
like
go-
he shows up and there's like 1 or 2 far shots where you see him in the back just looking very happy and smug with what he's done. The
I
puppet
definitely-
master he is.
Only time I noticed it was a very, very blurry shot. It was just like a khaki shirt. That's the only time I noticed him. So it's good to know it's actually him.
We'll post a picture on our social media. Check it out. Tweet us.
Okay, and then we got Ryan sitting on the stairs and he talks to Grandma, right? But did you notice, was there supposed to be some symbology there with Ryan sitting with almost like the railing of the very basic type of movie cinema symbolism here, but Ryan sitting next to the railings of the stairs, like prison bars between him and the rest of the party?
I don't know if I 100% get the architecture of where they were sitting, where like it felt like she was standing on steps and he was sitting on steps, but there were bars between them. I guess they must loop back around somehow.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like a partial spiral staircase.
Okay.
Like it just has one turn or something.
It's
But I don't know. I was trying to figure out. I was trying to read that and try and figure out what they were saying visually with that.
I certainly get that you would set something up
He was
to
holding onto it with his hands almost at one point, and there's just she was between them.
like he's like in an old-timey Western frowny mugshot. Just like,
Chasing skirts.
yes. Yeah. See?
So she doesn't apologize for trying to fuck Ryan.
She was a cool character being introduced in this episode, and it was a bit of an anticlimactic send-off.
Yeah, he didn't have to come at all.
No, there were no climax at all.
Wow.
I liked her sentiment about you should almost appreciate how strong you feel right now, because that's what being in love is
I
like.
wrote that down. I'd give anything to be as miserable as you are, which I thought was a pretty sweet sentiment. So I was trying to think about what she's talking about, really just that she doesn't feel anything. Like she's gotten this point where she doesn't love Caleb. He could not make her cry like that if he tried. It's just this time in your life being a teenager, this time in your life feeling in love. Even if it's hard, it's bad, it's still better than just like going through life zombified almost, which I guess I didn't really get from her. She seemed like she was having a good time, but she did seem like she had kind of like a resigned sadness to her happiness as well. Like you definitely didn't feel like she was fulfilled necessarily. Like what did she want to be when she grew up? I mean, she talked about her backstory as a model sent to Japan by her parents, like from a young age. Always
shit's insane. She
pedaled
was
for her
fucked
looks.
up.
And I think that idea of her reaching retirement age at
24,
22, I think she's 22 is when she retired, and then she got clean. But I think that gives you this sort of very jaded, world weary view of the world of like, well, yep, I'm realistic about my lot in life and what I can do with.
She's a 24-year-old kid, basically, looking back at, I remember when I was 16, I could still feel love. At 24, you're so jaded you can't see love.
Yeah, it's depressing
Maybe
as
if you
fuck.
maybe if you didn't date just the richest guy you could find that you have nothing in common with, maybe you could find love. But I'm like, I don't want to judge her for whatever she does. I mean, that might be what she needs to, live. The main thing I want to talk about this episode was when Ryan's waiting for Marissa to get back from losing her V card to Luke, and he's staring kind of like Juliet down at Romeo through like the terrace with the plants. He's staring down. Marissa gets home. She's walking to the door, and then I guess he sees her, so he comes down to her somehow. He walks down to the street, I guess, and comes up the driveway, or however he gets down, drops down from the terrace.
Flips.
And he comes up just like to look at her. What is his face saying there? Is he saying like what happened, or did you do it? Did he know she was going to go fuck him? Like what is he looking for there? Why is he waiting for her?
I felt like it was apology. Like it was just
apology.
that it was not about like where have you been, and more just
good.
like,
Okay.
I need to explain what happened and what you saw. That's what I got. out of it.
Yeah, I'm sorry I never said I wanted to date you. I want to be with you. Please choose me over Luke.
Right.
That's what he was coming to say.
Okay, that's good. I think I like to read it that way more than this weird, like, I got to be there for right when Luke drops her off, because if she was going to fuck the guy, I got to know. I got this weird, it's just weird that he's waiting for her, and when he walked up, it just seemed like this kind of expectation on his face, but I think I was reading too much into that. I think it's better if he just wants to apologize. It's such creepy that way.
I still read it as, like you said earlier, he knows they've been fucking for a long time, and that's how he sees it, because he's fucked the dancer and other people.
Why should he assume that? Yeah. That's true. And then, so that "you're too late" line, I think that's like the shot heard around the episode. When he comes down to talk to her, she just says, "You're too late." So is she just saying, "I've made my choice, it's Luke. You're too late, I've already fucked Luke"? Is it presumptive of her to assume that's what he's coming down to talk about, or is it a creepy move on her part? I don't know. What is going on with that line?
I think it's the first one. That's what it's supposed to be. Like, I've made my decision. I'm not going to waffle anymore. I'm not going back and forth. But it is easily read as, nope, I've already been fucked. You can't be with me. I'm no longer a vampire.
Yeah, I think I was looking for. Yeah, I was looking for some weird thing there. Just like I'm like almost this sadness to her, this moroseness as she says, like, I'm used now, or like I'm no longer what. I felt like I just had this really like gravitas to it that hit me strange for some reason. But it might just been like I chose him.
I think after. Well, no, it's before they get it on. It's when he goes to go get something and she's lying in bed. I think you get some shots of her face that she's very much resigned to this decision of
after she's fucked Luke
right before. So when they're like making out and she's like, "Yes, I want to do it," and he's like, "Are you sure?"
and
then
get like a condom. Or
yeah, it
something?
goes. They don't say what it is. In my head there were a million funny scenes where he just come back wearing a
dental
funny hat,
dam? Okay.
or just a banjo. It's like, were we unclear about our signals?
I can make it work.
Yes. But then she kind of like rolls back over and this look of sort of like, yep, this is what has been decided for me, sort of a little bummed out.
Yeah, so it's like if she didn't want to do it there, I mean, I'm not going to go into like asking a victim why she went through it if she felt pressured, but it just felt like a weird, like, what was she doing there? Did she want, let's try to put ourselves in her mindset. Did she actually want to have sex with Luke there? Or was it just like she felt like she had to because Ryan was... What was going through her mind? Because it seemed like she was upset about it.
Yeah, I think 100% she was feeling upset about her discovery of Ryan and that she had made a decision one way that had been proven a poor decision. So she was just, it was a way of sort of not making herself feel better, but I think more just reacting to herself, just lashing out at herself. Like, yep, I'm going to do this, and it's not really what I want, but I guess it's what I've got.
This kind of impulsive surge of emotion after seeing Ryan has to get out some way type of thing.
And I thought that was cool. I think that's a realistic way to look at someone cashing in their V card in high school, where it's not necessarily this magical thing with fireworks. It's just more like, yeah, I'm going to kind of regret this later, but...
Which we see a bit of a pattern repeat in the OC. I think it's kind of like a standard in the OC to have the V cards not be your traditional, like, oh, let's put flowers next to the... It's fun, I would say. It's a more realistic, I guess, probably way to look at these things.
Yeah, no one has an amazing first time. Except us.
I honestly... Let's talk about our first...
Our first episode was pretty good, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to talk about first times, but I legitimately cannot remember the first. I have no clue. So mine might have been awesome.
I haven't had sex yet.
I remember that night, and it was great.
Oh, thank you. You were forgettable for most of it. I'm sorry. I just had to say it.
Wow.
All right. So that's pretty much where this episode leads us. Wow. Wow.
Get out of here, Cat! You can't. You didn't watch this week's episode. You can't be here.
Don't be mean to me, Rusty.
Get out of here, Kitty.
Okay, Luke watch. So I want to do a Luke watch. So I think Luke is at a 10 right now. Luke's he's being sweet to his
Can
girl.
we not go higher than a 10? Because I definitely want.
He's asking for positive consent in the bedroom. He's being nice to Seth and complimenting him. He's being nice to Rye Guy. He said, he said something like "keep it real, dude" or something. When he says, what does he say when he says goodbye to him? Take it easy, Guy.
Yeah,
he's got a little nickname for him with Guy, no longer Chino, but Guy. He's been upgraded to a human being as representative of where he's from.
Although Summer calls him Chino now.
She does call him Chino, but it seems more. Summer seems a little bit more affectionate with her nickname of him being Chino. So Jamie, what are you at? I'm at 10. Russell's at 11.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying 10. I mean, I want to keep it within the bounds that we established of 1 through 10.
I thought you were gonna go really low, like a 1. He's such a nice little asshole now.
He's a fucking duke this episode.
No, that at the point
puss.
when they're making up at the beginning of the episode and Ryan rings the doorbell, there was part of me that was kind of like, I hope Ryan doesn't screw this up for those two, because I really want to see Luke and Marissa.
Because they.
Oh man, how great would it have been if Luke had seen Ryan before he drove off and said, "Take it easy, guy."
Fist bumps him out of his truck on the way there.
Cock bumps him.
Bump.
We should make that a thing.
Cock bumps.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, let's do one right now. Ready? 1,
I had
2,
those in
bump.
college one time, and some penicillin cleared it right up. So is Gabrielle the girlfriend of this episode? Why is this episode called The Girlfriend? Is the girlfriend a metaphor? What else are we talking about with girlfriends here? Is it just saying
Some.
Gabrielle? A little some.
Well, I had gone into this talk thinking that this was going to be one of the first episodes that I only had one reading of the title. But I liked your point about examining what it means to be a girlfriend in the OC through Marissa's eyes, through Summer's eyes, through Gabrielle's eyes.
Through Julie's eyes.
Oh, yeah. See, everyone's like what it is to be what it is.
What it is, Jive Turkeys.
To be a woman in the OC, to be attached to a man in the OC, what's expected from you. I thought I saw it most clear with Summer, seeming like she feels a connection with Seth, but still continuing to hit on the rich dudes at the party. Like, this is just our lot in life as women in the OC.
Yeah, if you're probably over-examining it, girlfriend is a term that is exclusively defining you based on your relationship to a guy.
Absolutely.
Which
you can't be a girlfriend unless there's a guy involved somewhere.
Yeah.
I guess you could be a girlfriend of a
That's
girl.
true. But
That's
we're
true.
mainly describing you in relation to another person.
It doesn't matter if it's male or not.
Right.
Yeah.
That you are being reduced to only being your relation to that other person, which I definitely is a struggle for Kirsten and for Julie.
I don't know if I agree with Kirsten necessarily.
I mean, just in terms of her relation to her father. And,
Okay. So her relationship to a man in the case of her father.
I wouldn't say that is actually what the writers had in mind calling it the girlfriend, but just in examining that.
Well, it doesn't matter. The author's dead. If you
Wait,
Thank God.
Josh Schwartz
if you follow
died?
that. Well, no, the author is dead. Is how you approach literature or whatever. It doesn't matter what the author intended. This is what the work is doing, and I'd say this work is speaking to me about that type of thing.
I was interested. So there were, how many writers were there on this? There
was a teleplay and
Right.
there was a story by.
So, but the story was at least by 2 people, maybe 3
Oh,
people.
was it Deborah and Josh who did the story?
No, Josh did the teleplay.
Okay.
He's the one who typed it all out and that wrote it in screenplay format. So the other people, I guess, just had this idea. They're like, hey, we had this idea with this, young girlfriend comes in, I was interested to know what the story behind why someone came up with the story and they had to sell it to.
It was a
Schwartz.
producer is like, how about we throw in a young girlfriend that's like their age that like fucks Ryan?
Yeah.
They're like, okay, yeah.
And they're like, great.
You get a
Now,
writing credit on
now
it.
you get a whatever Writers Guild credit because I have to come up. You write your dumb story into a play.
But yeah, that probably definitely helps ratings, and I could see someone saying that, like, why don't we get some more titties on the show? How do we get some more titties on the show?
It's not. I mean, it's not like the show has had a lack of beautiful women in bikinis and hot dudes without their shirts on. Like they've done a good job on that front. So,
But it got better ratings than the last one. We're at 9.1 million for this one, so it beat 9.0 from last.
all right. How about this? Where are Ryan and Marissa at the end of this? How they feel about each other?
Ryan is now accepted that he wants to be with Marissa. He's
Yeah.
fully
He's made
on
his
board
decision.
that Marissa is made a decision, but now she realizes maybe she made the wrong one.
So has Marissa like chosen Luke, or she still kind of wish it was Ryan, but she's doing this out of like punishment to him for hooking up with Grandma, or is she gonna stay with Luke now as a sense of like, because I gave away the V card, I gotta stay with him now? Like, seems like she really chose Ryan this episode and then went and fucked Luke.
It feels like Marissa was sort of balancing the beginning of this episode, trying to make a decision one way or the other. Walking in on Ryan just tipped
Okay.
it. So I feel like she's made a decision. She's going to stick with it for the time being. It at least bought us a couple episodes of Ryan and her not being able to get together.
Is it too late because Marissa saw Ryan making out with Gabby? Is that why it was too late?
That's what I thought.
That's what it felt like,
Okay.
that she was so...
Well, no, I thought it was too late because I've gone and had sex now.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Oh, I see. Her specific line of too late. I just meant in general. But her line about it being too late...
Because it came after the sex scene. I don't know. It's just weird.
I feel like it's more just, you're too late. I've made a decision.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
there we go.
How about Seth and Summer? They had some mixed signals this episode, especially at the end. Where are they?
It depends on what happens when Anna comes back. That's all I'm waiting for, is to see what changes when that occurs.
You're on Team Santa.
Anakin.
That's Summer and Anna.
Yeah, yes. So, what, and I will say,
Samantha.
getting the
I'm
sense
down on
that,
that team.
that down the road, Seth and Summer will have something together, I was having a really hard time buying that would ever happen. And I feel like this episode at least got us closer to be like, okay.
It gave her the humanizing moment of seeing him and like giving him the kiss because she's excited by him knowing her, and it changed his creepiness. I still thought it was kind of creepy because we could do the Seth creepy or not, knowing this shit about her from when she was 5. I think the general consensus of fans is that it was sweet, and so we're getting a little bit of that and a little bit less the creepy from him. But I still think it comes off kind of creepy.
But Summer's reading him as a tiny little squirrel now.
Yes.
She's going to want to protect from bully squirrels.
True.
Stealing his nuts.
Thoughts on female characters now? Do we like them anymore? Julie, Summer, Marissa,
Yeah,
Kirsten?
they're cool. They're not like they were at the beginning. In the beginning, they weren't. They were very one-dimensional, I feel like, and now they are all fleshed out. We've seen enough of them to, I believe them as characters.
Okay, so we've gotten into the meat of the OC now, and they're actual characters rather than just one dimensional.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like
no longer a problem.
this was actually solid. Other than, I guess Marissa didn't really get much of a character study. I mean, she was driving the plot, but in terms of, I think we saw much more from Julie, Kirsten, and Summer. Those specific scenes really fleshing out their characters and expanding who they are, which I loved. And so Marissa's probably the only female lead that didn't really get much of a chance to shine. She was just whiny.
She was listening to her punk rock Joan Jett Runaways, though, in her room, so that's neat to see that continuation.
Yeah, sticking up. I mean, they kept to her concept there, which is nice to see. Yeah. So do you guys have a sense of what Marissa's deal is? Why does she not feel? What is her? I don't know how to ask that. Like,
She's
what's
a
her
kid.
deal? Like, she's not like
She has-
Summer.
Like
Or do we have nothing to say about that? I don't know. I know
like
exactly
she's an
what her deal is,
outsider
but-
born within the OC?
Yeah, but because Summer seems to be accepting it okay, and she seems to be like trying to find a rich guy that's older to hook her up with, and she seems cool with all that kind of stuff. But it seems like Marissa immediately, as soon as she finds an outsider in Ryan, she immediately is interested in him.
So she's an insider who wants to get the fuck out.
I guess.
I could see that as maybe she was someone who, up until meeting Ryan, considered herself just like Summer.
Because she was dating Luke, the
Right.
the symbol of the guy in the OC that you want to date.
Yeah, so she had been growing up, maybe was vaguely unhappy and she's kind of experiencing punk rock music and reading on the road.
That's something right there to choose for her to listen to that instead of, say, industrial or goth. I mean, punk is saying something. It's rebelling against the status quo of wherever you are. You know, it's against the establishment. So she's rebelling against the establishment, the OC of Newport. That's a choice to make her like rock. Because people don't like punk rock. They're just completely satisfied with everything around them, I don't think. There's got to be something that they're adverse to.
Yeah.
So I wonder. So I guess I was trying to ask kind of what that is, but I don't really know how to answer that. I don't know if you guys do either.
It feels, and I don't know if she really knows at this point, but it feels like
There's something.
meeting Ryan, getting a sense of someone from outside of this little bubble that they live in, has led her to feel dissatisfied with the current situation and the trajectory that her life was going on. So I think that leads to the dissatisfaction with being with Luke, trying to figure out what she wants out of her life. But also that comes with rejecting everything that she has thought was normal and where she thought her life was heading up until this point. So then she's conflicted.
Okay, that's the episode. Do we got?
No, I think that's pretty well summed up. I thought this was a good continuation of the series.
Is this what you mean by them being a crew and just getting into random hijinks?
Starting to be closer to that.
Okay.
Got some
Not
hijinks.
yet, though. I mean, they really don't have all four of them messing around together yet.
Messing around together.
Ooh.
They're doing a mess around. I think there's a point pretty soon where they go on a little bit of a road trip, and for some reason, the four of them are together.
Did they go to TJ?
JT?
To TJ?
Yeah, maybe.
JT, did they go to TJ?
Maybe.
Man, so this is minorly off topic, but I ran into this drunk guy at a show on
single?
Saturday night.
Ah, Girls Rock.
Yes, and so he loved the OC, but he was so drunk he kept telling me the same thing over and over again. And unfortunately, part of that was me saying, "Please don't spoil the OC for me. I love it." And he kept being like, "Yeah, but," and I'd be like, "No, remember when we just talked and I just said don't spoil it for me?" So I didn't get anything. I just had to keep interrupting him, and he would keep retelling me, "No, the reason why it's so good is because I love this character and this character." And you just told me that same thing. Please stop telling me.
So you didn't get any? Did you actually get a spoiler?
I got one. I don't know if I want to talk about spoiler. I don't know if anyone's watching it with us.
That's a
but
good point now.
Here
I spoil stuff all the time.
there's a. And I think you know about a character that dies, one of the main characters.
I wasn't sure of the exacts, but I got the specifics a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Who'd you get it from?
I don't know, the internet or something.
It was that same drunk guy. He's running into your house. Hey, guess what? So I spent this whole time, I spent at least 30 minutes trying to get away from this drunk dude who was so in love with the OC and so wanted to spoil everything.
It's a weird show. It really does inspire some sort of strange, I don't know, just like allegiance and like passion about it in people you wouldn't expect. I guess that's part of the reason I'm interested in doing this show is to figure out why that is.
Well,
I don't know if we will. Maybe we should have a segment where I start trying to figure out what I liked about each episode. Like, why do I like this show? What about this? I think we talk about it to some extent, but
that is sort of our mission statement.
yeah, we haven't really broken it down yet. Though, to be fair, the parts of the show that make me like it so much haven't. I mean, there are parts of it that have happened so far, but really the meat of it that makes me love the show come later.
I like this episode because I'm invested in these characters
Yeah.
and because they said funny things, and I'm curious as to what's going to happen with them.
And that might be it. That might just be enough. I'm invested in the show and I like the characters, but I like to think there's something else that speaks to me deeper that makes me have watched it, 3 times through already. And
What I
all these
think
things.
to your point about how it just deeply affects a lot of people, it's been cool now that the episodes are starting to get released and we're getting little bits of feedback where the people that we've talked to where it said, we're doing the OC, the amount of people who are like, oh my gosh, I love that show has been really cool. People that I wouldn't have expected.
People like whom?
People like my old roommate, Casey, shout out to him, who is apparently owns them all on DVD. Apparently drunk guy at the bar owns all of them on DVD. Hopefully I'm Facebook friends with him. I should reach out to him now that he's sobered up and see if he'll listen to the podcast.
Those are like a beaver
Now that
puppy
we're
here.
putting him on blast.
Exactly.
But it does feel like it's a secret show. Like, no one ever talks about watching this show. And then all of a sudden, if you bring it up,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, wait.
It's got that thing about it. It's happened in the grad program I'm in. Like someone came up to me the other day and was just like, that was a really cool show. I was actually surprised by, I've watched the first season. No big deal. I'm like, what? You watched the first season? Seems like that would have come up before. Or just, I recently had a birthday party thing I went to that was OC themed, and we just watched the OC outside on a projector. I'm like, where does this keep coming from? You never hear that. It just doesn't seem like something that you know about someone until someone brings up, and it's just like, oh yeah, me too. Oh yeah, I'm also a huge fan too.
I like the idea that we will be celebrities that get invited to OC themed birthday parties. So like, oh, let's bring the OC men to our party.
And we all dress like characters.
Yeah, yes.
I call Che. You don't know what that is.
We just wear life vests and bring pool noodles. Like our
Don't
image.
let the chubby one in. We don't like his floaties.
The pool noodle just
It's not appropriate. Wow. All right, let's do the shout outs and let's get this show.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, especially you, drunk dude. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at WrestleMania SC and like some Pasta Robot stuff. It's some fun sketch comedy.
Pasta.
I like drunk character.
Yeah.
Follow me on Twitter.
Twitter?
I'm at Jamie Clark.
Well,
yeah.
I gotta get a pin. Wait. Okay, I got a pin. Go. To Jamie Clark.
It's Jamie Clark. Yeah. I just told you 5 minutes ago. It's at Jamie Clark.
Did you know that Sandy gets killed in
for the
season
love of
3?
God.
Holy
no.
shit. No, fuck that. Fuck that. Oh, my God. No.
I meant Kirsten, my bad.
Murder-suicide, you say.
I thought it was going to be Luke. Sandy's even worse. I didn't even think of that as a possibility.
Luke doesn't get shot.
Ooh, what you say?
It smells again in here. Just for the
Cut
record.
that.
I sat back and like
Plug it.
Oh yeah, and I like the OC.
But what's your name?
What's your name? I'm JT, and I love the OC.
And I'm Jamie.
And I'm Russell, and we'll...
See you later.
We deal in lead.